Act 1. Greed and hypocrisy leading to a genocidal world war. Then post-war injustice and hysteria. A boom. A crash. Totalitarianism. Act 2. Greed and hypocrisy leading to a genocidal world war. Post-war injustice and hysteria. A boom, a crash. Totalitarianism. Act 3. Greed and hysteria. A boom, a crash. I don't dare continue. Totalitarianism. Again, yes. But never before has mankind been confronted by the problem of surviving global death, total death, the doubting of reality, and overall a well-bred paranoia. Totalitarianism. And our personal antidotes. Dope. Marking time and making money. Making it. Turning on. Turning off. Dope, 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 dope. The facts are potent enough. The facts are potent enough. The facts are potent enough. Was the death of society totalitarianism? Totalitarianism.
Alrighty. Let's see here what we got going on today. All right. I have one thing. Since last stream we were talking about the Venezuela thing going on. We have some stuff and content suggestions to go over. And also, allegedly, Chud is supposed to talk to Connor in a little bit. But I don't even know. Fuck me. I shouldn't be. I have no right to yawn right now. That's not what I want. I brought the content. Well, allegedly, Chud is supposed to talk to Counterpoints about that conversation that we watched yesterday with Old Man Laundre. So that'll be exciting, but here, you know what we can do? We can actually just pull up that stream and show why he's going to talk to Counterpoints. Let me see here. There it is. Also, I apologize. I've done some off-stream grinding. All right. I didn't really do all that much, if I'm completely honest. No, don't check the tag. Just need to heal a burn. But basically, I forgot that I had a Tentacool. So we're gonna train up Tentacool really quick while we wait for the Vivance to hit. And then we're going to fucking annihilate Flannery with our boy Beckett, Slambo, and Hulkenstein in Spicy Chat. I'll probably switch out Shadowrun and Vegeta for Pokemon that I'm more okay with sacrificing. Massive Cope. Let's see what the Massive Cope is. Watching the U.S. propaganda machine manufacture consent for a war against Venezuela in real time, and everyone on Twitter is eating it up. Are staging a war. I hope these people, like, you know what? If you think that the U.S. is staging a war between Venezuela and Guyana, how is the U.S. causing Venezuela to hold a referendum to annex part of Guyana? Actually, I'm so fucking interested. I'm actually interested. Thoughts on the H Bomber Guy drama? If you're just talking about his video, I thought his video was pretty good, unless there's I kind of like passively listened to part of it and actively listened to some part. I fight with them all the time over who used that name first. That Summer dude deleted everything. Did he fucking really? Did he delete his YouTube? 1 second. Oh shit, what's his YouTube name? Yeah, I know his Twitter and Patreon were gone. But I thought that he just like closed them down, not like that he deleted them. Okay, 1 second. We've already seen this. Don't care. Let me get rid of some of these fucking tabs that we don't need anymore.
It's a woman. A woman?
Don't need it. I want that. Probably don't care about this. I have too many Cerebi. What is this? Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore.
So I think I should rape somebody. I'm definitely gonna rape somebody. Yeah, I'm for sure gonna rape somebody. That's a really good idea.
Why would he say
So
this?
I think
Why would he say this, guys? H-Bomb was a little soy over internet historian. Yeah, he was a little soy over internet historian. Oh, cool. Did the internet just drop? Is stream still up? Okay. It just says that I'm at 2 kilobits per second on my end. So I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's the fact that I had so many fucking tabs open. Okay. Anyways. It's a little worrisome that it's saying, oh, wait, hold on. You know what? I bet you if oh, yeah. It's just because the OBS window is so small. Never mind. Anyways. Well, I usually run at 5K kilobits, 5,000 kilobits per second. Unless I'm just like an internet like retard and I don't understand what this fucking metric is. See, it's usually supposed to stay around like 5,000. But it was showing me 7 or 2 or 4 a second ago. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he was a little soy over the internet historian, but like in terms of calling out the plagiarism, he really plagiarized like a motherfucker, didn't he? Okay. It's because you're using Opera. It's sending all that data to China. Oh, really? Well, fucking Chrome was killing my internet back when I was using that, so I stopped using Chrome. And this one has gamer noises. Hear that? Anyways, I'm so curious. How can the US get a foreign power to hold a referendum to annex another territory? Since the early 2000s, territory doesn't matter. Work together, not wage war against each other for U.S. interest. Maduro 2013, the Geneva Agreement was a psyop through contempt and racism to invade Guyana. 2000 nationalized 60% of each oil project in their territory. Okay. Awarded only $76 million. Just a week ago, Exxon applied in a U.S. court to seek the $1 billion from Venezuela that they lost in the international court decision. What country is this? Okay. Oh, fuck off. Why would you give me this? Wasn't until 2008, a few months after Venezuela nationalized oil and booted out most of the foreign oil majors, that the companies began exploring the waters offshore Guyana in earnest. Suddenly in 2015, suddenly, I like how they have quotes. I like how they have quotes around suddenly when it doesn't say suddenly right there, right? And this is what? 7 years later? Suddenly 7 years later. But lots of it off the coast of Guyana. Only a handful of people knew what that news really meant. One of them was Jonky. My heart just sank, she said, because I know oil is a disaster. I know it's the worst possible thing that could have happened to Guyana. Caracas objected to the planned offshore exploration for oil in local waters by Exxon, a move seen as another effort by Caracas to thwart Guyana's search for petroleum. The move prompted the Foreign Affairs Ministry to write its counterpart in Venezuela, urging that its government desist from actions that could contravene international law and prevent development. Venezuelan Foreign Affairs Minister said that the situation cannot be decontextualized from the recent extraordinary action of the U.S. government that declared Venezuela to be an unusual and extraordinary threat to its internal security and foreign policy. Is just okay. So what it's sounding like, Venezuela, despite saying, despite copy pasting something earlier that said, Maduro said that the Geneva Agreement was a psyop through contempt and racism to invade Guyana. They want to work together, but they also want to tell Guyana where they can and can't drill for oil. In May 2015, Exxon announces huge oil reserves. It's worth noting that the only surprising threat is that the government of Guyana allowed a powerful transnational company, such as ExxonMobil, to venture into territory disputed between two countries. I'm sorry. Like, the more I learn about this contested territory stuff, the less I care. Like, if it was within the last 20 years, that's one thing. But, like, bro, they had an agreement since the 1800s that was legally recognized. And then in, like, the 1960s, they decided, oh, well, we don't want to accept this. But the borders have remained the same since the fucking 1800s. Do you just get to say that Guyana doesn't get to use oil that's off of its internationally recognized borders because an agreement 150 fucking years ago isn't in your favor today? Oh, look at that. Do we have a little emote now? Oh, look at that. We have a little Sond Peepo dance emote. I do need to find. I tried to find my emotes on my computer, Tron. I cannot find them fucking anywhere. It was about that time that the U.S. was trying to fuck over OPEC with extra supply pressure. Okay. So what does that matter? If Guyana wants to work with a foreign company to drill for oil in an area that has more oil reserves than fucking I think the United Arab Emirates and what was the other one? It was the UAE and It can't have been Saudi Arabia, right? Like if they want to like drill for oil and like increase the wealth of their country, why the fuck is Venezuela have the right to step in? Saudi Arabia is the head of oil and Russia. Then an attempt by Venezuela to enforce its claims to the disputed area would be vigorously resisted. Rodriguez took exception to the aggressive tone of the statement by Guyana, saying it exhibits a dangerous, provocative policy against the peaceful Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. The peaceful Republic of Venezuela that's just happening to say that you're not allowed to drill for oil in your internationally accepted waters. Feelings a desire for peace for the border people of Guyana and invited her counterpart to meet so the countries could overcome the disagreement through dialogue. Also weighed in on the dispute, rejecting the role of ExxonMobil in dividing the two nations and calling for dialogue. The only mechanisms that, well, if Guyana didn't want ExxonMobil to work in their waters, ExxonMobil would not work in their waters. There's influence and powers responsible. Like, this is so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. To meet and talk about the territory? Bro, it's literally more than half of their country. It's 60% of their fucking landmass. You think they're going to sit down and be like, well, you know, I know that you say that you own 60% of my country, and maybe we can rectify this through peaceful dialogue that, like, we're just not allowed to drill for any oil on our own fucking land because you just claim, you know, more than half of our own fucking country, and we're just supposed to live in fucking squalor and fucking poverty because we're not allowed to access our own natural resources. What is there to talk about? I think that this pocket of oil is wholly within the internationally recognized like economic exclusion zone. Is that the correct term? Let me see here. Since I can't even read this. Economic exclusion zone. Exclusive economic zone. So I believe this is totally within their economic exclusive economic zone. Here, we'll watch this really quick. I just think it's so stupid that like all these fucking countries are just saying like, ha, LOL, no, your country is mine. And if you try to like, you know, increase the wealth of your country, I'm going to actually fucking invade and kill as many of your people as possible so that you stop trying to increase the quality of the people's lives in your country. Here, we'll watch this because it's all about that. So, where is sources? Go to window capture.
Welcome to the latest edition of the Situation Room, where today our lead story delves into a pressing geopolitical
I'm just going
dilemma.
to
Is Venezuela on the brink of invading its
here.
neighbor Guyana? As Venezuelans gear up for a landmark referendum on the creation of Guyana Esquiba, a potential 24th state within Venezuelan borders, the tension with Guyana escalates. This controversial move.
It's not imperialism if it's something that the Guyanese want, right? Or is it just like if it's a white country that has a company and that company goes into another country that's not majority white, then it's automatically imperialism? Do these people get to make any decisions for themselves, or do all the fucking tankies in the world get to decide who brown people are allowed to talk to and who they're not allowed to talk to?
Seen by many as an illegal annexation, could reshape South American geopolitics and potentially ignite the region's first interstate war in
I also
decades.
forgot I should
We
get
also
this.
turn our attention to the United States and the unveiling of the B-21 Raider, America's next-generation stealth bomber. But the real story to that lies in China's response, claiming their hypersonic missiles could counter this technological marvel. This bold assertion, if true,
There's
could
an egg I
redefine
can
aerial
get right over
warfare
here, I think.
and challenge the US's strategic dominance.
Oh my god.
And finally, we update.
Gas. You overload me with fucking links constantly. Before the video, check this out. Bro, holy shit. Okay. U.S. Southern Command General Richardson pointed out that the U.S. will not allow that China gets the resources from the disputed Essequibo region of Guyana that will Venezuela. Whoa, holy shit. What the fuck? Am I having a stroke? Is that like a bad translation? U.S. Southern Command General pointed out that the U.S. will not allow that China gets the resources from the disputed Essequibo region of Guyana that Venezuela wants to be annexed. It's just a bad translation. Okay, I was having a stroke or some
light sweet
shit.
crude that was discovered off the shores of Guyana. That's the fastest growing economy projected for the next 5 years at 25% GDP growth.
Jesus
Heavy crude and
Christ. 25% GDP growth year over year? That's fucking crazy. A good year would be like 3.5%, 4% for the US, 5% if we were like just fucking chugging. 25% is fucking unreal. People were saying that China was the economic wonder because it had 10% year over year.
for the next 5 years at 25% GDP growth. Heavy crude in Venezuela. So with the potential, I'll go to back to the resources of the region. Over 50% of the soybean in the globe is from this region. Over 30% of the sugar, beef, corn is coming from this region. How do we help this region reach a potential to feed and fuel the world? But when you talk about these resources that are there, and we ask ourselves why the investment in all of the critical infrastructure by our strategic competitor, the People's Republic of China. So why is that? Well, the resources are there. This megaport that the PRC is building right now north of Lima, Peru, will take off 15 days to get food. They get 36% of their food from this region. It'll take 15 days off of that transit time, from 35 days down to 20. They won't have to go to Mexico or go to San Diego before they go to China. And that'll be just a direct shot. Why is that? That's the PRC's plan, the gateway to Asia. But where are we coming up with the alternative solution for all of the critical infrastructure? Why are we not competing on the contracts and the tenders that these countries put out? Why is it only the PRC that's doing that? How are we mobilizing Team USA to come forward and to compete for these contracts? And I would say with the administration's announcement of the
Notice the word that she uses there, compete.
APEP, American Partnership for Economic.
Compete. They're offering a deal that is better than the other competitors. Guyana is choosing one over the other.
Prosperity, where 12 Latin American leaders
But, you know, it's not, you're not allowed self-determination if it's fucking, you know, the U.S. It's not self-determination if you willingly choose to, deal with the U.S. It's not self-determination if you get invaded by the U.S. If you deal with the U.S. at all, it's imperialism. Yeah, offer a better deal than China. That's what we're doing, and we're succeeding. It looks like it, right?
were brought to the White House on the 3rd of November. And so, billions of dollars being channeled through the Inter-American Development Bank and the Developmental Finance Corporation into the hemisphere, specifically for critical infrastructure, is huge. It's a start. But we got to do more. We got to double down, and we got to see the importance of this regional hemispheric security doctrine that we need to put our foot on the gas and double down, and it's a call to action.
Okay. Food shops.
You on the tense political climate in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. With elections looming, fears of corruption, authoritarianism, and escalating violence grow. In a country already ravaged by conflict, the potential for further turmoil
I don't
could
know
have
what you're talking
far-reaching
about,
implications, not just for the DRC, but for global powers with vested interests in the region. So, our lead story. Is Venezuela about to invade its neighbor? This Sunday, December the 3rd, Venezuelans are headed to the polls in a much-hyped referendum. Sold on social media with reggaeton remixes and boosted on TV by multi-hour lectures starring President Nicolas Maduro, the referendum will set out a series of 5 constitutional questions for voters to answer. Most important among them will be one on the creation of a brand new state within Venezuela, Guyana Esquiva. If the referendum succeeds, then the government in Caracas will declare it their nation's 24th state. But this isn't like those occasional referendums the US holds on making Puerto Rico a state. Unlike Washington, Caracas does not control the territory that it's trying to incorporate, nor does almost any other government or institution on earth think it legally belongs to Venezuela. Rather, El Esquiva, sometimes also called Esquibo, lies entirely within neighboring Guyana's internationally recognized borders. A swath of rainforest that's larger than England or Cuba and accounts for 2/3 of Guyana's overall landmass. It's also home to 300,000 of the country's 800,000 strong population, and while the referendum will ask whether they should be granted or it looks a whole lot like Caracas is holding a vote with only one logical outcome: the illegal annexation of a neighboring nation's territory. Certainly, that's how the Guyanese see it. To quote the BBC Spanish language service, BBC Mundo, according to the Guyanese government, the referendum represents an existential threat to the territorial integrity of Guyana. And they're not the only ones to think so. An urgent hearing is currently being held at the International Court of Justice.
What do we call the why not? Someone name it. Orange store? I don't understand what y'all's fucking inside joke is, Sleepy. Name it food shops? No. I'm not. I don't want to name it after fucking streamers. We already made that mistake once with Beckett, okay? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it again. Your mom? They fab. Jesus Christ. We almost named it. What was the thing that we almost named the Numal? Cis woman. Oh, that would be funny, but I like your mom. I like your mom. Okay. Now let's grind and get the fucking tentacle to get Bubble Beam at least.
Where American lawyer Paul Reichler recently declared the collective decision called for here involves nothing less than the annexation of the territory in dispute. This is a textbook example of annexation. Most likely, the World Court will agree, which may be why one of the referendum questions asks Venezuelans if Caracas should reject the court's jurisdiction over the case. To say this is causing anxiety in the tiny Guyanese capital of Georgetown is a little bit like saying that the Game of Thrones finale made some fans mildly
I can't believe
upset.
I did that.
Come on, John.
Okay, next time I'm fucking speeding through grinding a Pokemon, you guys make me stop. All right. The next time I hit the fucking fast button and I'm fucking grinding, you guys need to spam call me a retard in chat. What the